Okay, thank you. So I've got some acknowledgements from Shantha, Rajan, Krishna Yadav. Krishna, welcome back to one more webinar. I'm happy that you are attending all these webinars. Yeah, Prasad Mule, Praveen Marathe. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, all right. Okay, so I think we will just give the other participants some time, and we will get started. So, like you all know, this webinar is about protecting your data in Excel. Okay, Arshad, thank you for the acknowledgement. You can hear me. You can also see my screens. That's wonderful. All right, I'll just open up an Excel interface now, an Excel workbook. Okay, just confirming one more time. Are you able to? Is everybody able to see my screen? The Excel worksheet. Okay, great. Praveen, I think there is some problem with your internet speed. It will take some time maybe for you to be able to see the screen. I've got acknowledgements from other participants that they are able to see the screen, so I think we are all set. Okay, so I think it is 9:33. I think we should start. Yeah. Okay. I have just opened up the Excel sheet, so maybe there's a time difference, there's a time delay. I've just opened up the Excel sheet, so maybe in the next few seconds you should be able to see that. Okay, I see that there are total 12 participants, and most of them are able to hear me as well as see my screen. Okay, so I think we should get started now. All right. Okay, so friends, just a quick start, just a quick introduction about myself. My name is Ambarish Tate from Mumbai. Born in Pune, brought up in Mumbai, lived in Punjab for 2 years, lived in Doha for a few months, and currently settled in Navi Mumbai. I've been doing Microsoft Office training programs for quite some time now, for 4 years, majorly for corporates. I've done so many webinars in the past through Edureka. I've done a session on VLOOKUP, I've done one on conditional formatting, there was one for data visualization, and this one's for data protection. Okay, all right. So let's understand the whole idea of choosing this topic. Sometimes when we work in the corporate environment, it is important for us to maintain the confidentiality of our data. Okay, the best thing is obviously when you leave your desk, you obviously lock your PC. Yeah, if you're working in a corporate environment, it could be a desktop, it could be your laptop. It's always good to Windows L. Okay, the shortcut for locking your PC screen is Windows L. Okay, but that is only for the Windows environment. The entire PC screen will be locked. Sometimes you would only want to lock your Excel data. Okay, not really lock, but protect your Excel data. Okay. And that's when you would want to apply things like work file protection or worksheet protection, that is specific sheet protection. Sometimes you would want to specifically protect some cells of your Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so we'll look at all of that right now. Okay, so first of all, friends, do you see that I have opened up an Excel book 1? Okay, and it contains sheet 1. Just one sheet it contains by default right now. Okay, can you all see that? Yeah, yeah. Okay, great. All right. Okay, now the first thing here, friends, is if you would like to. The first thing is. If you are preparing a data in Excel, if you have some kind of a data in Excel, the obvious reason for that is you would want to show that data to somebody. It could be your client, it could be your supervisor, it could be your bosses, it could be the top management, it could be anybody, it could be your colleagues, right? You are preparing some kind of a report or you're performing some kind of a calculation in Excel, and the whole reason for that is you would like to show that to somebody, maybe discuss that with somebody. Okay, so when I say protection of your data, I am not saying that you are not willing to show the data. Okay, so the focus here is not about the person being able to see or view the data. The focus here is we would like to protect our data, correct? Nobody should be able to make any changes in our data. That's protection, okay? So if somebody is able to watch your data, see your data, that's fine, okay? All right, the very first thing here is, let's take an example that I have this book 1, okay? I have this sheet 1, and maybe I can just add 2-3 more sheets here. So by default, sometimes you have 3 sheets in an Excel workbook. I just had 1 because I've made those settings, but I just added 2 more sheets here. So my file contains 3 sheets, okay? Now, if I would like to protect this entire file, okay, the entire workbook, which is book 1 right now, okay, the first thing to do is I can simply go to the F12 key on my keyboard, okay, F12, function 12, okay. When I say function 12, I mean the top row on the keyboard, function 12, okay, F12. Then it takes me to the save as window, like you can see from here, okay. If you're not comfortable with the shortcut, you can always go to the file tab here, okay, and you can go to save as, which is one of the options out there. So you can go to file tab and go to save as, right? If you are using the Excel 2010 or the Excel 2013 version, then you would definitely have this file tab on your top left. However, if you are on the Excel 2007 version, you will have a circular icon there called MS Office button, and then when you click on that, you have the save as option right there in the drop down. Okay, so you go to the save as, or you click F12 on the keyboard and you will be taken to the save as window. Okay, so let's put the shortcut method. That's always the best thing. So F12 save as. Now here, okay, do you see there is a command called tools here? Yeah, I hope you are all able to see my circles blinking. Are you? Shantha, Krishna, Praveen, Prasad, Arshad, can you see this? Can you see these circles blinking? Yeah. So this tools command is currently on the right side of my Excel, my save as window. However, if it's a different version, then the tools window, this tools command will be somewhere here on the left side. Okay. But anywhere in the save as window at the bottom, you definitely would have the tools command. Okay. So let's go to the tools drop-down menu, and at number 3, I have this option that says general options. Okay, so tools drop-down, and number 3 sub-option is general options. Okay, I click on that, and I will be able to now see a small dialog box. Okay, just a minute. Okay, I'll just quickly. Just a minute, there is some problem here. Just go to my computer, I just save it on my desktop first. So this book 1, I'm just saving it on my desktop, okay? And then I go to this F12. Okay, I'm not sure what's happening here, but I guess it's because of this questions panel, I'm not able to see this. Just a minute. Okay, great. Yeah, all right, can you see now on my screen? Can you see? There's a small window that has come up. It says general options. Yeah, I've just moved the questions window aside, right? So the very first option in that small general options window is password to open. Okay, so let's come here and give a password. I'm sure we all know that passwords are something that need to be kept very confidential, and by choosing a password, please choose a password which cannot be guessed easily by your friends or colleagues or your acquaintances. Right now, since we are not dealing with any confidential data, I will just type 1, 2, 3. Okay, now friends, here I would like to highlight that if you forget your Facebook password, or if you forget your Gmail or Yahoo Mail password, it's very easy to recover that, because you have the option of recovery email, or an SMS is sent out on your mobile phone. Even if you forget your internet banking password or your ATM password, there are ways to recover the password. You can simply walk up to the bank and perform some procedures and some formalities, and you can still recover the password. However, if you forget the password which is given for any MS Office tool, could be Excel, could be PowerPoint, could be anything. Okay, if you forget your MS Office password, that's it. You can also forget the file then. Okay, so there's no real recovery. There's no legitimate recovery method if you forget the password. Okay, even if your using it on your own laptop where you have the system administrative rights, or if you are, if you talk to your organization's IT administrator, there is absolutely no way to recover the password by legitimate means. Of course, there are softwares available for hacking and all, so we can, that can always be done. So it's always good to remember the password. That's the best thing. So let's keep it very simple. I will just keep it to 1, 2, 3 right now, and I will say OK from here. Okay, I'll say OK. Now, quickly, another window comes up which says confirm password. This is asking me to re-enter the password. Obviously, I will enter the same password. So 1, 2, 3, and I say OK. Okay, and now this book 1, which is currently going into my desktop, okay, I will save. Okay, so I will save the file. Now, there's a window that comes up which says book 1 already exists. Do you want to replace it? Obviously, I will say yes. Okay, the reason why I am getting this small confirmation box is the earlier version of this book 1 is without any password. Now that we have applied a password, it is asking us whether we want to replace it. So obviously I will say yes. That's it. Okay, so save and yes. Okay, and now I will close this Excel file. Okay, so I hope you remember it was saved on my desktop here. Okay, so I'm on my desktop right now. Okay, this, the place where my circles are blinking, that's the file. So I now double click on the file to open the file, and the Excel interface is opening up. And look at that. Look at what you see now. It says book 1 is protected, and it's asking me for a password. So I will now have to enter the 1, 2, 3 password which I had just given. Okay. So up to now, are you okay with me, friends? If somebody can acknowledge, it would be great. I hope you're able to see my screen. I hope you're able to hear me. Yeah. Okay, Umesh Patel, thank you. Thank you, Praveen. Thank you, Arshad. Thank you, Vinod. Okay, great. Okay, so now I will enter the password, and like I said, my password was 1, 2, 3. I press OK, or I can simply press Enter on the keyboard, and now that file is opened up. The entire file, which contains 3 sheets, has been opened up. Okay. Now, friends, this is a very simple thing. What we've done is just the entire workbook. Okay, a lot of times people have this habit of going to the File tab, and then they have this habit of going to Encrypt document. Okay, but if you go to this option of Encrypt document, you only get the option of password to open. However, the method which I just discussed, that is by going to F12 and by going to the Tools command here, and by going to General Options, you have another option also, which is password to modify. Friends, can you hear me? Okay, Prasad, thank you so much. Okay, Arshad, thank you, Shanta. I'm sorry, there was a problem with the internet connection. I think I just kicked some wire, but now I think I have rectified that. So sorry for that. Interruption. Sorry for those few minutes. Okay, great. So I think I'm back on track. I think you all can hear me now. All right, I've got some acknowledgements now, so sorry for that. Let's get started back. So friends, I was talking about the other method, which some people like to go to encrypt document and stuff like that. But the reason I spoke about the method of save as, that is the method of F12, is when you go to the F12 window, okay, and when you go to the tools command, okay, from F12 save as tools, you also have another option here that says password to modify. Okay, do you see? Just now I had only given the password for opening the file. Okay, now I will say password to modify. Okay, if I want to remove the password, I can simply come here and I can simply remove these three dots. Okay, remember, I am able to remove these 3 dots because I have just logged into the file with that password. Okay, only then I will be able to see these 3 dots. If I'm not able to log into the file in the first place, then obviously the file will not open up. Okay, right now I will simply just remove this password to open. Okay, and let's go down to password to modify. 1, 2, 3 again. Okay, of course I can give the same password multiple times, or I can keep changing my passwords, but here I will just keep it to 1, 2, 3. I say OK. Again, it asks me to re-enter the password, so 1, 2, 3. I will say OK, and I will say save. Like we saw last time, again it gives us a prompt. It says, do you wish to replace? I will obviously say yes. All right, and then that's it. I close the file now. Right. So friends, did you notice that I have just removed the password which was applied for opening, and I've kept the password now for modification of the file. So now when I perform a double click on the file opens up, all right, and right there it says book 1 is reserved by Ambarish Thirte. That's my login ID on this laptop. It says enter password for write access or open read only. So if you have sent out this file to somebody via email, and if the person has not been given the password, obviously you will just that person will simply say read only. Okay, he will just click on this button here that says read only. Okay. However, if he knows the password, he can simply enter the password, which is 1, 2, 3 in this case, say OK, and that's it. The file opens up. Okay. So far, are you okay with me, friends? Okay, what we've discussed is pretty basic stuff about the entire file. Okay, we haven't gone into specific sheet right now. We've just discussed about the entire file. You've seen password to open and password to modify. Okay, so friends, are you okay with me so far? Right? Okay, great. All right. Now, friends, let me just close this file here. Okay. Once again, let me just close this file. Yeah. Thank you, people, for the acknowledgement. Yeah. Okay. Now I will just close the file here. Okay, and open the file again. Double click. Okay. And yeah, so the password is applied for modification, so it gives me this small prompt. Okay, let's take an example where I do not know the password. Okay, somebody has sent the file to me and I do not know the password. The person wants me to be able to see the data, maybe just review the data, but not make any changes. So in that case, he's not given the password to me. In that case I will click on read only. So I click on read only. Okay, now see, friends, I can make some changes. Okay, see, the file was initially a blank file, so I'm just making some changes here. Okay, I'm just adding some random characters to that D column of the file. Okay, in sheet number 3, I'm doing this. Now, when I click Control S, that is the basic shortcut for save. Okay, when I click Control S now, it says we cannot save the book 1 because it is read only. However, down below there's a small liner that says I can still save a copy of this Excel file on my desktop. Okay, so if I go with OK now, okay, I just go with OK, and I go with computer, I go with desktop, so I'm saving this on my desktop. It says copy of book 1. Yeah, please observe my blinking circles, friends. I hope you can all see my blinking circles. So the earlier name of the file was book 1, which was again in the desktop. This file, which is a copy of the book 1, which is another file, is again getting saved in the desktop. So I will click on save now, right? And that's it. It's done. I close this file. All right. Now here I have the original file, which is book 1. Okay. And here again on the desktop, okay, I have the copy of book 1. If I now perform a double click on copy of book 1, you will notice that the changes which I had done, okay, whatever changes I had done are available right there. Yeah, so that's why I would recommend you not to use this option called password to modify, because the user is able to save a copy of the file on his desktop, and then so a duplication is created. So the best way is you always protect the file in such a way that it asks for a password to open. Okay. Are you with me on this so far, all of you? So that completes the module on complete file protection. Okay. So, okay, great. Now I will just close this file. Okay. I'll just get rid of this copy of book 1. Okay. Now, let's come back to our original book 1. So it's on my desktop. I'll just double click on that. Remember, there was a password given, password to modify. I will type 1, 2, 3, enter. Okay, and I now want to remove all protection that is given. So I go with F12 again, that is save as function 12, okay, tools, general options, okay, and it says password to modify, okay. So these three dots, I can simply remove them, and I will say okay. I will say save. When I say save, it says, do you want to replace it? I will say yes. So that's it. So I've removed the password from the entire file. Okay. Now let's take an example here, friends, that this sheet number 2, okay, the sheet number 2 of this book 1 is a confidential file. So I'm just naming it as confidential, okay, and maybe I have some really important data which is crucial for my job profile or my organization's success, okay. Maybe I can just put up Jan, Feb, March here, okay. This is an important data for me, okay. Now my requirement here is I might want to put up this file in the common drive of my organization, okay, or maybe with a pen drive I would like to share, okay. And my requirement is the second sheet, which is just renamed as confidential, okay, that is something which is very crucial. So I'm not okay if somebody makes any changes there, okay. However, if somebody wants to make absolutely any changes in sheet number 1 or sheet number 3 of this file, I'm completely okay with it. My concern is only with respect to the second sheet, which I have just renamed as confidential. Are you okay with this so far? Yeah. So let's see what we can do now. Okay. The first thing that I would want to do here is, I mean, a lot of people, okay, a lot of corporate users, what they do is they come to that sheet. So I've come to my second sheet, which is whose name is confidential. Okay. People have this habit to go to the review tab. Can you see on top here on the Excel ribbon? The second last tab is the review tab. Can you all see that? Okay. I mean, it's very straightforward. It's right there. Okay. So you go to the review tab, and in the middle of the Excel ribbon, within the review tab, you have this command that says protect sheet. I'm sure you all have seen that in the past also, but maybe you've not used that. Okay. So can you look at that now? Okay. Review tab, protect sheet. Okay. Here it says give a password. Okay, so I will give the same password which we gave last time, 1, 2, 3, okay, and I will click on OK. Again, it asks me to re-enter the password, so it's just asking me to confirm the password, 1, 2, 3, again, OK. Now, if you look at this confidential sheet right now, okay, if I click on any one of the cells in the confidential sheet, and if I try to make changes, you see that there is a message which says this is a protected sheet. Can you see this, friends? Not just the actual data, not only the relevant data, even if I access one of the blank cells somewhere outside, and if I try to make any changes, it just still keeps giving that prompt, which is about sheet being protected. So, do you see that this confidential sheet now has been protected? Okay, let me ask you a question here, right? We've just seen that I'm not able to make any changes to the second sheet, the confidential sheet, okay? Do you think it is a really strong or a concrete protection? What do you think? If some of you can just type your comments or your inputs in the questions window, it would be really great. What do you think? Is this really a concrete protection? Okay, some people are saying yes, some people are saying no, some people are saying maybe. Okay, so, all right. Friends, honestly, this is not the ideal way of protecting your sheet. I was just demonstrating what people in the corporate world are currently doing, okay? If you look at this confidential sheet right now, I can always go there, okay? First of all, as an unauthorized user, okay, Praveen has a comment here. Praveen says the data is still accessible. Well, Praveen, in the beginning of this session, if you remember, I had mentioned that if we are not concerned about the person being able to see our data. Okay, if you have an unauthorized person, if he's able to see your data, we are fine with it. Our concern here is the person should not be able to make any changes to your data. The whole purpose of you typing some data in an Excel interface is you would like to show it to somebody. Like I said, it could be your boss, it could be your colleague, it could be the other department, it could be your clients, it could be anything. So the very purpose of writing at some data or preparing some report or doing some calculations in an Excel interface is you would like to share that with somebody. Okay? Okay? But my question here is about the specific sheet. Will the authorized person, will he be able to make any changes or not? That's the whole focus here. Yeah. And if you have a different requirement, if you feel that the person should absolutely not be able to see your data, then the best option is you protect the entire file. It's as simple as the way we do in our normal life. Forget Excel for a moment. If you go out of the house and if nobody's in the house, you're okay if somebody comes and sees your house, but you're not okay if somebody wants to enter the house and take some ornaments or something. You lock the house, correct? You lock your entire house, right? You don't simply lock your bedroom or the drawing room or the balcony. You lock the entire house, correct? So you're okay if the thief passes by your house, but your only focus is the person should not be able to enter your house. That's the whole thing here. I'm okay if the person is able to see my data, but he should not be able to make any changes because that's my confidential data. I'm not okay if somebody makes changes and makes a mess of my data and further mails across to my boss. I'll be in a problem then. I'll be screwed. Okay. So now coming back. So Andrew, okay, you had a question. Okay, and you are okay. So you've already got the answer to that. Okay. So for any other questions, friends? Praveen, I hope that clarifies your point. Praveen, Andrew, Krishna, Vinod Kumar, Prasad. I hope you are all with me. Okay, great. Okay, so friends, coming back to the specific sheet protection, look at the screen here. Okay, if you look at the screen, I am now going to my second sheet, which is my confidential sheet. Okay, and so let's assume that somebody has sent out this sheet to me. I am an unauthorized user. I will make a couple of attempts to make changes. Like you can see right now, I'm not able to make any changes. I will go down here. I will use my mouse. I will perform a right click, and I will just simply look at this option number 2 here, friends. Can you see? Right click, and I will simply delete. Okay. So as an unauthorized user, if I get angry, I will say, okay, you are not allowing me to make any changes. Fine, I will delete the sheet. Neither for you nor for me. So I can say, okay, can you see this? Final delete. Okay. So I will just say delete here, and that's it. Do you see now? The Excel book 1 now only has my sheet number 1 and my sheet number 3. The sheet number 2, which was named as confidential, is now completely gone. And further, just to confirm this, the unauthorized person can simply just say Control S. He can simply just delete the sheet, do a Control S, and that's it. It's gone. Your data is gone forever. Yeah. Now, if you want, I can just close the file and open the file again, just to confirm this, just to verify this. Check it out, guys. Do you see? The sheet number 2 is no more in existence. Okay. So just by going to the review tab and simply by using this command called protect sheet is not really helping us in the real sense of the term. Yeah. Are we on the same page so far, friends? Shanta, Prasad, Andrew, Vinod. I'm just reading out some random names. I'm just making sure that you guys are with me. I'm always scared about losing the internet connection. Okay, great, super. Yep. Okay, we all must say thank you to the Vodafone. Okay, great. Now, friends, so let's look at the ideal way of protecting a specific worksheet now. Okay, so let's take an example that I have some data again. So let's just prepare some data again really quick. Okay, so I prepare the data. In the meanwhile, if you have any questions, please type. I will just prepare a data just like the way we had done last time. So let's take weekly data this time. So I'm typing Monday here, I just drag it towards my right, and I will be able to see that the data is prepared. Okay. Real quick tip here, friends. If you simply write Monday and if you simply just drag it down in your absolutely any Excel version, you are always bound to get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the list will continue. Okay. So the same thing applies for dragging towards right also. Okay. Thank you, Andrew, for the acknowledgement. That's an awesome tip. Thank you. Okay. Similarly, you can also type Jan, and you can just drag it down. Any version of Excel, you will still get the list. Okay. Great. Okay. Coming back. Now, let's look at the ideal way. Okay. Andrew has a question. He says, "How about years?" Well, Andrew, let's take an example that we are typing a date here, okay? So 27th of August is today, so 2015. I will just type this date here, and you guys will now tell me what's happening, okay? I will simply just drag it down, a simple drag with my mouse, absolutely just simple drag with my mouse, and I guess the answer is already sent out. You can see that it automatically gives you the next date in the sequence. Okay. Prasad, thank you, Andrew. I think I will now move to Prasad's question. Prasad says, "How are you blinking the circles?" Okay, Prasad. Well, that's my training secret. If I disclose that to you tomorrow, you will start doing training, and it's a loss for my business then. So I'm sorry, I'm not sharing that. Yeah, we're doing Excel data protection. You're not doing a training here on presentation skills. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the blinking circles are only meant to attract the audience attention. So that's a training secret. Okay. All right. Great. Okay. All right. Prasad, I'm just kidding. I can share that with you later when if we have some time towards the end of the session, or you can connect with me separately. Okay. These are just some presentation techniques to attract the audience attention. Okay, now friends, I will again go to the review tab like we did last time. Okay, and this time, before accessing this command called protect sheet, okay, I will first go to protect workbook. Okay, I go to protect workbook, and it says now. Do you see there are a couple of options here? It says structure and it says Windows. Okay, if you're using the Excel 2007 and the Excel 2010 version, you will have this Windows also available to be tick marked, to be checked. But in the Excel 2013 version, the Windows is not available. Okay. Anyway, structure is more important here. So do you see there's a tick mark on structure? Okay. The meaning of structure is whatever options you get upon performing a right click on the name of any sheet, those options are called as structure. Okay, so when you do a right click on any sheet, you get the option of insert, remove, delete, move or copy, tab color, grouping, and a bunch of other options. Okay, so all those options are called as structure of an Excel worksheet. Okay. Now, by applying a tick mark here, I am ensuring that structure is under my control. Nobody's able to access that. Okay. Here it says password. Okay. So I'll put up the password as 123, and I say enter. Okay. Again, I will put up the same password, which is 123, and I say okay. Right. So I'm done with protect workbook. Okay. Now I will do exactly the way I had done last time. That is, I will now go to this next command here, which is protect sheet. Okay, I go to protect sheet. Again, I will put up the password as 123, enter, 123, enter. So did you observe this, friends? First, I went to protect workbook. Although I am interested in protecting a specific worksheet here, I did go to the tab that says protect workbook first, applied the password there, ensured that the tick mark for structure is there. Then I went to the next command, which is protect sheet, applied the password there, and that's it. Now I can say that my sheet is actually protected. Okay. Now, if I go to the relevant portion of my data, see, there's a small error that says, the sheet is protected. Even if I go to the non-relevant portion, that is a blank cell, still see that the sheet is protected. And now, like I did last time, I am not allowed to perform a right click. I mean, I'm able to perform right click, but the option of delete is grayed out. Can you see this, friends? Are you all with me on this, friends? So now your unauthorized user can simply see the data, but he cannot make any changes to the data, and at the same time he cannot delete he can't even move the file, he can't even, sheet, he can't even rename the sheet, he can't even delete the sheet, he cannot do anything. And even if he tries to access this thing here that says unprotect sheet, okay, even if he tries to use the unprotect sheet, he will be prompted for a password. Okay, so Arshad, yes, I know that you've got a question here. I will answer that. But before that, are you guys okay with this now? Do you now realize that this is the ideal method of protecting your worksheet? Okay, great. Thank you so much. Now let's answer Arshad's question. Arshad wants to know. Let me just 1 minute, friends. Let me just read the. Okay, Arshad says, what does that Windows option mean? Okay, okay. So friends, Arshad's question is, if you go to the review tab and if you go to this command here that says protect workbook, okay. Okay, now in my case, since the protection is already applied, I will simply just remove the protection to answer Arshad's question. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, if I go back to the review tab and if I go back to the protect workbook, okay, there's an option here that says structure as well as Windows. Okay, that's what Arshad is asking about. Okay, what is the meaning of Windows? Okay, structure I already explained. Windows is something which is not available for Excel 2013. They've taken that off, but for Excel 2007 and Excel 2010, it is available. Okay, so so I will just explain that to you now. Okay, Shiva Kumar, just wait. Let me answer this question and then I will come back to your. Okay, it's a questions window that I'm accessing here. So if all questions are bombarded at the same time, it becomes difficult to take a look at all the questions. So let me finish off with Arshad's question. And Andrew, yes, the sheets can be hidden. Yeah, you can simply just do a right click and you can say hide. However, I will not recommend that, because if you know how to hide the sheets, obviously there is a high possibility that your unauthorized person may know how to unhide the sheet, right? So I would not recommend that. Okay, but yes, you can, Andrew, you can. Okay, all right. Coming back to Arshad's question, and then Siva Kumar, please wait. Okay, Arshad. Now, do you see, friends, that I am minimizing this Excel workbook? Not really minimizing, but I'm just kind of compressing. It's not occupying my complete screen of my laptop. Can you see? I have just made this Excel book one a little thinner, or I've just kind of compressed it. Okay, it's not occupying the complete window. Can you see this now? Yeah. Can you see? Can all of you see? Yeah. Can you see? It's only occupying some 25 to 30% of my laptop screen. Correct? Great. Yes. Thank you for the acknowledgement. Now I will go to the review tab. Okay. And I will now go to the protect workbook. Okay. Okay. I have a comment from Indira. Indira says, I am sorry, I missed it. Okay, Indira, since you just joined us, you can just get on with us. Yes, you've missed a lot of stuff. Okay, but you can just try to be with us right now. Okay. All right. So I go to this review tab. And I go to this protect workbook and this Windows. Okay. If I tick mark on Windows, it means the portion of my Excel interface which is viewable right now. So if I apply a tick mark on Windows also, then the unauthorized person will not be able to again expand my Excel interface. Right now, it is only occupying my 25-30% of my Excel, my laptop Windows screen, correct? So if the Windows option is tick marked, then the unauthorized person will not be able to extend it to 100% again. That's what they mean by Windows. So Windows here does not mean Windows Vista or Windows XP or Windows 7 or Windows 8. It means the portion of your Excel interface which is viewable, which is observable. Did you get the point, Arshad? Okay, so I think now I will talk about Silva Kumar's. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing the name correctly. I think the question was asked by Siva Kumar, sorry. Siva, yeah, you can. My name is Ambarish Tarte, and you can find me on a lot of social networking sites. I'm not sure if it would be a right idea to disclose my email address here, because Edureka is the company who is doing these sessions. So I'm not sure if I should be doing that. But yes, you can find me on any social networking sites, and you can connect with me if you have questions on Excel. Okay, Ambarish Tarte is my name. Okay, great. Okay, friends. Now let's look at another question here. Okay, now some question is, what about someone creating a copy of my protected sheet? Is it possible to make a copy of protected sheet? Yes, Arshad, definitely. If you are protecting your spreadsheet with the method which I just showed you, the Excel sheet is definitely protected. But if the person is really smart, he can simply perform a Control A to select your data, Control C to copy your data, and Control V to paste it somewhere else. Yes, he can do that. However, if you are interested to know more advanced about disabling the copy paste also, we can discuss that right now. Okay, but before that, are you guys okay with me so far? Okay, so I'm just going to that protect workbook and protect sheet interface, and I will just remove all protection. So okay, so yeah, okay. Yes, great. Now we will look at something really interesting. So far we've seen about the entire file. We've also seen about the specific spreadsheet, and now we can see what needs to be done to specifically protect our specific cells. Basically, so yes, Arshad, I will answer your question now. Okay, I'll just take a completely new file. I'll just delete this. Just a minute. I will just don't save this file. Okay, I'll just delete the file. Okay, let me take a new interface, a new Excel interface, a new Excel workbook. Okay, so so this will answer Arshad's question also, and this will also be helpful to others. Okay, just a minute, friends. Let me just open up the Excel. Okay, again, I will just prepare a data here. I'll use the rand between formula to prepare data. Okay, so I've got some data. Okay, just a random data, right? Let's take an example that this is my this is my examination 1 and examination 2. So let's take an example here. Andrew Judson is one of the contestants. Arshad Ansari is the next. We have Indira also, Indira S. Then we have Praveen. Then we have Ankush Sharma. Then let's also take Katrina. Also take Amitabh. Also take Salman. Also take Rajnikant. And amongst all these stars, let's also not forget to include a mega superstar. Okay, so are you all with me so far? I have just prepared a dummy data here. Okay, and let's assume that we have all appeared for some examinations. Okay, and this G column of my Excel spreadsheet. Okay, this G column, I would like to perform a summation. Okay, so I'm just doing a summation on all the individual totals. So do you see Andrew's grand total of all the examinations is 198, and for Arshad it's 328, and so on. So can you see this sum column here? Okay. Also, somewhere down here, I am applying a max formula. Okay. So I want to know which value is the highest. So I get 328. Okay. Also, I will let's take an example. I will also have a column here that talks about average. Okay, so equal to average is the formula, and I am select. So Andrew's average is 49.5. I just drag the whole formula down, and I get the averages for the rest of the guys. Okay, so friends, do you notice that I have applied a formula here called max? Okay, I have also applied a formula here in the entire G column called sum. And last, I have also applied a formula called equal to average in the H column. Okay, so whatever portion I am highlighting in front of you right now, okay, in yellow, okay, all the yellow highlights that I'm doing right now are the cells which contain some Excel formula. Are you okay with this so far? Are you guys okay with me? Yeah. So I have some cells in my data which contain some formula. So let's take an example here that I have some report which I have prepared. It's a report, and I have done some calculations. I have used some formulas. Okay. And my requirement here is I am okay if anybody wants to come to this entire section here. Okay, right from Andrew to Ambarish. Okay, the entire first column, which I am highlighting in green right now. Okay, sorry, I just made it dark green, so maybe you cannot see it properly. Yeah, this entire portion out here, I am okay if person Indira, you don't have to worry about what you have missed, because if you write into the support team of Edureka, they will provide you a link of where the recording is stored. Okay, most probably they will also put this on YouTube, so you can also access from there. Okay, so don't worry about that. They will send you the link in the next 24 to 48 hours, whoever is attended. Okay, so yeah, so friends, did you get my requirement here? Are you all okay with my scenario here? My scenario here is the green portion. I am absolutely okay if anybody comes to that portion and makes changes. But I'm not okay if the person comes to these yellow boxes, any of these yellow boxes, and makes any changes, any of these. Okay, that's what my requirement is. Okay, now the very first thing that I will do here is I will select the whole sheet by doing a Control A. Okay, I click somewhere outside on the Excel spreadsheet, not where my data is, somewhere outside. Okay, and I do a Control A. Control A selects the whole sheet for me. Now I perform Control 1. Control 1 is the shortcut of format cells. Okay, I'm sure you guys know that you can also do a right click to go to format cells, but the slightly smarter way is to use the shortcut, and Control 1 is the method here. So Control 1 takes you to format cells. Okay, now within the format cells window, let's go to the last tab, which is protection. I hope you can see that. Yeah, in the protection tab, I'm sure you can see that there is already a tick mark which is applied for the locked. Do you see? Locked is already tick marked. I will remove that. Remember, my focus here is only to lock or to hide only those cells which contain formula. The other cells, I'm okay if somebody does anything to that. Yeah, that's why I will remove the tick mark on locked. Okay, and I come back, I say okay. All right, when I come back from the format cells window, that is when I return to this Excel sheet, I still see that the entire sheet is still selected. Remember, we had done Control A to select the entire sheet, so that sheet is still selected. Okay, now I will do Control G. Control G stands for go to. I'm sure you all know Control F stands for finding, Control H stands for replacing. Similarly, Control G stands for go to, like you can see right now. Okay, within the go to window, I will now go to this option here, that is special. On the extreme bottom left side, I have special there. Okay, so I click on special. Right now, within the go to special window, I will select the option that says formulas. Can you see? There are various options given to me here. Comments, constants, formulas, blanks, a lot of options given to me. Correct? I will choose the one that says formulas, and I will click OK. Okay. Now friends, do you all notice that only those cells which contain formula are now selected? Earlier, the entire sheet was selected, but now only those specific cells which contain formula are now selected. Can you all see that, friends? Are you all with me on this? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Great. Okay. Wonderful. So yes, do you see that the entire formula cells are selected? Okay. Okay. Just before we move on, yeah. Okay. Suresh and Andrew, let's just see what questions you have. Okay, can you quickly show this selection? Okay, one more time. So let's begin from the extreme start. Okay, okay, one more time. So first of all, I come here. Okay, let me just show it to you that if you randomly select any one cell of your choice, okay, any one cell of your Excel spreadsheet, and if you go to Format Cells, that is right-click and Format Cells, that is Control 1, you will notice that there is a tick mark which is applied against locked. Okay, but right now since I've removed that, it's not there. So what I'm doing here is, okay, just a minute, right? Just a minute. Okay. 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 So right now I will not give any yellow color. Okay, if you think that's confusing. Earlier I had given the yellow color only to highlight that those cells contain formula. Okay, so I'll repeat this whole thing again. First of all, I have some formulas in this sheet, and some of them are just manually entered numbers, or maybe taken from some other application like SAP or anything. Okay, so I will select any one cell of my choice in the data, in the sheet. Okay, and if I do a Control 1, you will notice that there is a lock tick mark done. To remove that, what I'm doing is I do a Control A. Control A stands for selecting the entire sheet. I go somewhere outside and then I do a Control A, which means it selects the entire sheet. Then I go with Control 1, that is Format Cells, and I remove this tick mark of locked. Are you now okay with me, Suresh and Andrew? I select the entire sheet and I remove the tick mark, which is already there for locked. The reason, by default, every Excel cell, any Excel cell already has the tick mark on locked. But right now, because I am interested in only protecting the formula cells, I am coming to this Format Cells window and I am removing the locked for all the cells. Okay. Now I will do a Control G. I will choose Special and I will choose Formulas. Now, because of that, I will notice that all my formula cells are selected. Okay. Earlier, I had chosen the entire worksheet, but now I have only selected those cells which contain formula. So this go-to technique is a smart technique. This go-to technique is a smart technique which helps you to select only those cells which contain formula. Okay. Indira, to remove formulas, we can do paste special. You are absolutely right. But in this case, I am not interested in removing the formulas. I very much want to keep the formula intact. Moreover, I want to make sure that nobody is able to make any changes to those cells which contain formulas. So I'm not removing the formulas here. But yes, like you said, you can use paste special only if you wish to remove the formulas and only respect the values, but not in this case. Okay. Okay. Now, friends, are you all okay with me so far? Can you see that the formula cells are selected? Okay. Now that we see that only formula cells are selected, I will again go to Format Cells window. So one more time, I am now accessing the Control 1 shortcut on my keyboard to access the Format Cells. Control 1. Okay. It's not Control F1, it's Control 1. Okay. And you will see that the Format Cells window appears again. All right. Now, this time in the last tab, which is Protection tab, of this format cells window, I will apply a tick mark on locked as well as hidden. Okay. The reason I'm doing this is I'm not going to allow anyone to make any changes to the cells which contain formula. So that's why I'm doing the tick mark on locked. Also, I am not willing to show the person what formula is used, whether it is max or whether it is a sum or average or VLOOKUP or index or match or offset, which formula is used. Even that information I'm not willing to disclose, and that's why I'm also applying a tick mark on locked. Okay, so now I go to the bottom here and I will click on OK. From this format cells window, I will click on OK. Okay, and now I will go to my review tab. Like we had done last time, I will first access the command that is protect workbook. Structure and Windows, both of them should be tick marked. If it's Excel 13, then you can always forget about the Windows, but the structure definitely has to be tick marked. Put up a password here that is 123, enter, 123 again, enter, and go to protect sheet. Okay, now when you are in the protect sheet window, you will make sure that you only keep a tick mark on the second option that says select unlock cells, because if you read this thing, it says allow all users of this worksheet to select unlock cells. So by doing this, I'm saying that I'm okay if the person is able to select unlock cells. Okay, so that's why deliberately, purposely, I would like to reiterate once again that you will come to the protect sheet window, and from the window, please ensure, kindly ensure that you have a tick mark on select unlocked cells. Remove all other tick marks, please. Okay, you are okay if the person is making changes to your manually entered data. Okay, and of course I will put the password here. So 123 enter, 123 enter, and that's it. Now friends, let's check it out. Okay, do you notice I am using my cursor key. I'm using my cursor arrow key, okay, and it is not allowing me to go to the G and the H window. Can you guys see this, friends? Are you okay with me? Can you see this? I'm trying to move the cursor key, and I'm not able to forget watching the formula, forget seeing the formula. I am not even allowed to go into that cell, so I can't even figure out whether the formula is max or min or sum or average or count or whatever. Vinod Kumar says, I learned something new. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, let me just, okay, Arshad says, can you click on it? No, Arshad, even if I use an external mouse, I will still not be able to click on it. I mean, you cannot see my laptop right now because we are not in a physical classroom environment. But if you would have been somewhere near me, I would have asked you to come to my laptop and check. I can't even use, forget my laptop's internal scroll pad. Even if I use an external mouse, I will still not be able to click on those two columns, which is the G and the H. Same goes with this 328 also. See, I am just trying to, that 328, remember, do you guys remember this 328 is a formula, correct? Yeah, this 328 was a max formula. Yes, Andrew, correct. Yeah, we had applied the formula, but now I'm just using the cursor arrow keys up, down, up, down, up, down, and I'm not able to go to the 328. Yeah. So guys, are you Arshad, this also answers your question that I am not able to copy paste these values somewhere. That was one of the earlier questions that you had asked, right? So not just that I'm protecting my formulas, I'm also ensuring that nobody is able to copy paste it. Are you guys okay with me with this, friends? Okay, Arshad has another question here. Sir, what about making a copy of the sheet by clicking on the sheet tab? Okay, Arshad, please look at the screen here. I am going to the tab here, which is sheet 1. Okay, right click, and Arshad, do you notice that the option of move or copy is not available to me? It's completely inactive. It's grayed out. So I cannot make a copy of this sheet now because I've gone to the protect workbook and I have done a tick mark on structure. So I cannot do this. Did you get your point, Arshad? Arshad, are you okay with me? Okay, thank you. Super. All right. Okay, now let's look at another question here. Ankush Sharma says, if I select another outside and control A, then it's not okay. Ankush, I come here, I do a control A. Okay, I am doing a control A again, because we are not physically next to each other. I cannot show it to you, but I'm doing control A here. But the control A functionality is now disabled. Generally, control A performs the task of select all in Excel, in PowerPoint, in Word, in Outlook. I'm sure we all know that control A performs the task of select all. But because of this activity, the control A functionality is completely disabled now, Ankush. Okay, Ankush? If you have done this along with me in your Excel sheet, you can also experience this, that control A is now disabled because of this. Okay, 1 minute, let me just say. Okay, Prasad says, can you please try dragging from F1 to F13? Okay, I am in F1 right now. Okay, I'll just go here. I will come here. See, did you just notice? I went to the E column and I dragged it down. Prasad, did you also see that I am into the F column now, that is exam 4, and I am dragging it. So like I said, I am able to drag. Yes, you can see the change, correct? The form. So the formulas are automatically changing. The values in the G and the H column are automatically changing. Okay. Remember, our focus here, the whole intention was we were completely okay if somebody wants to come to any one of these 4 columns. Yeah, remember I had given the green color here. Yeah, so I can come here and I can make any changes. That's completely allowed. Okay, so I am able to make changes in the C, D, E, F column. That is exam 1, exam 2, exam 3, exam 4. I'm able to make changes, and the corresponding answers are quickly reflected in the G and the H column also. Yeah, but nobody can make change in the G and the H column. Even Bill Gates, the owner of Microsoft, cannot make any changes now because I have given the password. Does that answer your question, Prasad? Oh, okay, thank you. All right, Andrew, I think you have some more questions, but I think we will have to wind up now because it's already 7 minutes past the scheduled 1 hour time. But Andrew, if you are the same Andrew from Hyderabad, I think you are anyway connected with me outside this Edureka interface. I think you already got my number. So I think you can ask me on the other forum that we both are connected on. Okay. So I think any more questions about protection, please ask. We have some. We can spare some time. Otherwise, I think we are all good. The recording of this session will be sent out to you by the Edureka team. Okay. Okay, Arshad has one small question here. He says, shift plus spacebar is working. No, Arshad, impossible. Any shortcut that involves the G and the H column and the max formula, all the shortcuts are now disabled. I'm trying to do a shift and spacebar right now. Shift spacebar means select the entire Excel row, the complete Excel row. That's completely disabled now. because the G and the H columns also have some rows there which are protected. If you come to the exam 2 column, for example, and if you press Control Spacebar, can you see that you are able to select the whole column, the whole D column, the entire D column? Yes, because there is nothing which is protected there. Similarly, you can press Control Spacebar on the exam 3 column also. And that's perfectly allowed. You can see that right now. However, Shift Spacebar is not allowed because we have the cells protected. Okay. All right then. So thank you so much, all of you, for attending this session. It was a pleasure doing this session. Do join me when I do my next webinar on some other module on Excel. Okay. So I think we will wind up now. My name is Ambarish Tate, AMBARISH You can keep watching my LinkedIn site. I keep regularly updating whenever I have these Edureka webinars. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. Have a great night and have a fantastic weekend coming up. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye. No, Indira, I cannot hear the participant's voice. The participants who attend the session are muted. Okay, so only I am the one who can speak. The participants can always ask questions by typing. I cannot hear your voices.